Even in the middle of the conversation?
Yes, I was like searching it. Wait. Pop, 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 pop.
Hello guys, I'm Seung-gyo. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do another Q&A session about learning English. How are you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going?
His experience and his opinion on learning English, I believe is going to help and inspire many English learners out there to learn English more passionately and more effectively. Let's get started right off the bat. First, could you tell our viewers who you are?
Hello people, my name is Simon and I am doing international sales in Korea.
Could you tell us when you moved to the States for the first time and exactly how many years you have spent there in the United States?
I went to the States after the freshman year of the high school. Altogether, it could be like 7 to 8 years, but I went like back and forth. If you calculate it, it could be like 5 years total.
Most of Korean students stay in Korea and study very hard and go to colleges or begin to work right away. But why did you decide to go to the States and spend time there?
Back in high school, at that time, my brother was studying in the States, so it was a great chance me to studying abroad. I wasn't a good student in Korea, so I don't think like I would make it to go to the college. So I decided to like go there. Oh, why not? Like, why not just like living in a foreign country?
So you stayed?
From Suneung, yes.
Speaking of Suneung, like Korean SAT or national exam for entering college in Korea, you got into the high school in Korea, spent just a year, and then moved to the States. And how did you do on mock test for Suneung? Were Nathan getting good grades for, grades that are needed to go to college in Korea?
As I told you, I was really bad. So until like middle school, I was really like good at studying. I thought that like I was really good at studying, but end up not studying really well in the high school. Expectation of good grades on the middle school and expectation of good grades in high school are totally different. Like it's a whole another level.
Could you describe what your English was like back then in high school before leaving Korea and moving to the States? Or could you mimic the way you spoke in English if it's possible?
I was speaking really poor English since I was just learning English like from the school and sometimes at the scam school, but it was only the grammar side. I was speaking maybe like hello, how are you? Those kind of like level.
But at the moment, your English pretty much sounds like American, typical American. But how was your pronunciation back then?
If everybody else in Korea seems like speaking English, I was like that.
What made you decide to go to the States instead of staying in Korea? Because even if your brother was studying at the time in the States, you could have stayed in Korea and spent time with your friends that you already had.
Yeah.
If I were you, probably I would decide to just stay in Korea and then just have fun with my friends.
I should have done that. But at that time, I thought that like it was great opportunity to studying abroad. It's not a common like opportunity to study abroad.
Back in Korea, before moving to the States, just for our viewers to get to know you better, to get familiar with you, how did you do on other subjects when studying in school, such as math, science, biology, literature?
I was really bad in Korean. Like subject Korean, not like speaking Korean, but subject Korean. It was super hard to me to understand the poem. I couldn't even get it. Like I didn't know like the purpose of like of the writers. It was super hard. Same as English.
This might be a fun question. On a scale of 1 to 100, how would you rate yourself in the past in terms of passion for study?
First tells everything. My score was like 40, 50, 70 was like pretty good,
I don't mean to be rude to you, but just I want to bring out the kind of fact that learning is different from studying, because obviously now you learn very well English, but studying, as you told us,
it was mine.
Now let's talk about your new life. Turn your back against Korea and then spend time in the States. What was the thing? What was the hardest thing? The most difficult thing? Toughest thing that you had to face when you for the first time spent time in the States?
Living in a foreign country, it is really tough. First time I went to the States, I wasn't prepared for living there. So I couldn't understand like what my friends saying, what my teachers were talking about. Like I didn't get any English at the first time. I was only like speaking hello, hi. It was super hard to communicate, and having a friend, that was the first thing. And second thing, because of the language barrier, I was super introverted and couldn't even like talk to the people, strangers, just sleeping on a class. That was me at the time.
Okay. And you responded in the answer sheet that in the beginning stage of spending time in America, you spent most of the time all alone without having friends, without trying to have conversation with other friends. I can't really imagine you're shy guy back then because you are now more outgoing and more energetic, more active than any other person that I know. But is it that you suddenly became a shy guy because of language barrier and because of all those hard situations, or were you just like introverted back then when you were young?
I guess it's because of the language barrier. I couldn't even talk to the friends, classmates. I think like that made me like introverted and shy, even not focus on the class because I couldn't even like understand of the class at all. That made me why I was just sleeping backside of the class.
How long or for how many years do you think for someone just like you in the past who couldn't speak a thing, who couldn't understand the thing in English, to actually become fluent in English and being able to communicate in English with other people? Just roughly speaking, how many years do you think are needed for becoming fluent?
It always depends on the people, but maybe
how about your case?
My case, it took me a while. Like still back then in the high school, I was speaking broken English. To be honest, my English became like this because of my wife. I still like think my English not perfect, grammar is not perfect. I'm still learning about like the English through my wife. And
were there other Koreans or other Asians or other foreigners who couldn't speak English, just try very hard to be able to communicate in English?
I told you guys that learning English depends on the people. Who just came from Korea. She was freshman of the middle school.
Okay.
I saw her at the first time. She couldn't speak English at all. One of my principal like told me to help her.
But what do you mean by helping her? So how exactly did you help her?
I translate like what the teachers say, the textbook. I was helping her like that for a month, and then suddenly like she was speaking English. So I was surprised. Maybe she was young, like she was studying really hard. So I think like it depends on the people, because few of my Chinese friends couldn't even speak fluent English for few years till now.
Were you in a relationship with her?
No, I was in a senior and she was freshman of the middle school. It's like a 5 years like gap.
Okay.
So she was like super young. She was a little kid. And I was like grown up man. Don't even imagine about it.
How many years of gap do you have with your wife at the moment?
5 years.
I was wondering, during the very first 2 to 3 years in the States when you couldn't understand English, then how could you get through many situations, hard situations where you had to speak English? For example, you had to go to supermarket and buy some stuff, and you had to talk to a cashier in English, definitely, or you had to catch up with classes, you had to talk with your friends in English. How could you handle all those situations?
By back then, like I was like bringing the dictionary. You guys like know about it, like little dictionary, like handful dictionary that you can just like bring it anywhere and then like search it. I use that a lot.
Even in the middle of the conversation?
Yes, I was like searching it. Wait it. And I was like that, and it was like really tough.
Were you afraid to meet people back then and start to have conversation with other people? Did you have any fear of the fact that you had to speak in English with someone?
Back then, I was afraid of like speaking someone in English. I love to like speak in Korean with my brother, but at that time like he was so into the English, so he wanted me to like speak English between me. Like at that time it was so weird. It feel like it's a different person.
But like because of that kind of try,
Yeah.
then you improved a lot. You owe your brother a lot.
Yes, I did. By hanging out with his friends a lot, or even like speaking English to him, like helped me a lot. For 1 year, I was like a broken robot. Like I was there, standing beside of my brother, doing nothing. I didn't know what they're saying.